Good morning, students. We are once again back on online teaching platform due to the COVID-19 lockdown. Nevertheless, let's talk about today's topic, which is habits and health. We all have seen that in this COVID-19 pandemic, we all had to undergo through lockdown, and we all have to sit in our homes, attend our classes, do our job online, and there were many restrictions on going out. There were many restrictions on socializing. Okay, and today's topic is very important in such a period. Why? Because today's topic is habits and health. Okay, so how exactly are habits uh, causing good health or bad health? Which habits to follow, which habits to discontinue, and what exactly is the theory behind habits and health? So without wasting any more time, let's start our today's topic. So there are many habits. Okay. Some of them are good habits, some of them are bad habits, and some can be doubtful whether they are good, whether they are bad, no one knows. Okay. Yes. So how exactly do these habits start, and how exactly is mean by what exactly is mean by habits? Habit is an accustomed way of doing things. Okay, so it's like we are doing things right from our childhood till our adolescence, and it becomes a part of our lives. Okay, what we eat, when we sleep, when we get up, how we interact with people, how we talk to people, and everything else what we do in our lifetime, most of them are our habits. Okay, so they are either learned by watching and doing, they are either learned by us by continuously improving ourselves. Okay, and what is the force, what is the need for which we develop these habits? We will go through this in brief. Habits are said to have three characteristics. Okay, these are acquired through repetition. Okay, a successful person doesn't become successful in just a snap of finger. Okay, an athlete who has won a Olympic medal doesn't get that much Olympic level strength or stamina just like that. Okay, the athlete has to practice for years and for hours of daily training and for years together to get to that point to perform at that physical and mental and psychological excellence. Okay, habits are automatic. Okay, once we have done that, we don't have to, once we have learned that, we don't have to take any more extra efforts to do that. Okay, the best example is getting up early in the morning. Okay, so if we are habituated to get up early in the morning at 6 o'clock, 6 a.m. in the morning, uh, first we will have to set up alarm. First we'll have to tell our parents, tell our friends who get up earlier than 6 a.m. to wake up us. Okay, and then when we are habituated for getting up at 6 a.m. in the morning, we don't have to set up the alarm. Okay, it becomes automatic. That means we can get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, even if we have slept at 12 a.m. at the night, 1 a.m. at the night, or even 10 p.m. At the night, we will automatically get up at 6 a.m. in the morning. Okay, habits can be performed only under similar circumstances. We need certain circumstances for the habits to be performed. Okay, all the knowledge, all the desire, and all the skills which we have, they all come together to form habits. Okay, so what is knowledge? Okay, and what are desires and what are skills? So say for example, the knowledge, we have knowledge regarding diet. Okay, what type of diet to have, and what is healthy diet, what is unhealthy diet, and that is counteracted by desire. Okay, we all know that eating outside food or eating deep fry food will not be healthy for us because of presence of saturated fatty acids. Okay, and even worse than that, trans fatty acids. The best example is samosa. Okay, so we all have that knowledge that samosas will be having trans fatty acids, which will be very harmful for our cardiovascular health. Okay. What happens is these trans fatty acids in the samosas directly go and form the atherosclerotic plaques in our arteries, blood vessels. Okay. These trans fatty acids are very, very difficult to be burned or very, very difficult to be removed. Once they are in the body, they will stay in our body till we die. Okay. Trans fatty acids. So even if we all have this knowledge that samosas are not so much good for our health, but once in a while, once in a month, once in a week, we get a desire to eat samosas. Okay. And we eventually eat them. Okay. So it's not like we are going to die after eating just one samosa, but habit decides whether we are habituated to eat samosas, vada pavs, pizzas, burgers, and fast food or deep fry food or even finger chips. Those finger chips which come in McDonald's or in fast food restaurants, those are deep fried uh, alus, okay, potatoes. So these deep fried, all these deep fried food products or all these fried food products will have these trans fatty acids and saturated fatty acids, and this habit of eating this fast food totally depends on our desires. Okay. And our knowledge and skill is the way in which we perform things, or skill is the way in which we control our minds. Okay. So it is our skill whether to eat these samosas or not to eat these samosas. Okay. So all these three things, the knowledge, desire, and skills, they decide one's habits. Habits are accumulated through generations. They emerge as customs, and customs in turn create habits. Okay. So whatever we do, we are copying our parents and our older generations. Okay. Majority of the things. Okay. Majority of the professions, even also, even 200 300 years back, majority of the professions, they were run in the families. Okay. So all the habits the people had those days back, they were exactly similar as their previous generations. Okay. But now, since we have since we are into the social and cultural revolution, the habits may differ from parents and children, from previous generations and next generations. So nowadays, the habits depend on what social culture we are living in, what is our social circle, and what are things which are done by people around us, and what of those things, which things which we pick up and we continue doing them. Okay. Habits once formed persist and influence human behavior. Okay. So all these habits, whether it may be healthy habits, whether it may be unhealthy habits or query habits, we don't know whether they are healthy or not healthy, but they will persist with us and they influence our human behavior. Okay. Yes. So this is a cycle of habits. There is a trigger mechanism. Okay. So say for example, a person in his 40 years of age suddenly experienced pain in the chest, left side of the chest. Okay. A 40-year software engineer doing his job 9 to 5 in the multinational company. Okay. Spending time with the family, not having any major addictions, is an occasional drinker, occasional smoker. Okay. Not a particular addict, but at the age of 40 he is experiencing a heart attack. Okay. And he goes to the doctor and doctor says, oh my god, thank god that you have come earlier, you have suffered a mild heart attack. Okay. But don't worry, it is totally treatable by giving you a thrombolytic therapy. Okay. He thrombolizes the patient recovers, but this is a lifetime trigger in that person's life. Okay. At the younger age of 40, without any addictions of alcohol, of smoking, he is having heart attack. Okay. So what he thinks, what the doctor advises, see, even if you don't have any addictions of smoking and alcohol drinking, but your weight is 100 kilograms for your height of 160 centimeter. Okay, so your ideal weight should be 60 kilograms and you are 40 kilograms heavier than your expected weight. Okay, second thing, you are doing a IT job. Okay, you are a software engineer. Majority of your time is spent sitting on the chair. Okay, so remember, sitting is the new smoking, they say. Why sitting is the new smoking? Because the amount of stress which is given to the body by a packet of cigarettes, by 10 or 20 cigarettes, is equal to 5 hours of sitting. Okay, if a person is sitting for 5 hours, he is giving the stress to his body equivalent to smoking 10 cigarettes a day. Okay, so every 45 minutes, every an hour, those who are sitting should take a break of at least 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, stretch around, go for a walk of 5 minutes, do some stretching exercises, and then the stress of sitting for continuous for 5 hours will be somewhat relieved. Okay, so this is the trigger. That mild myocardial infarction in that 40-year-old software engineer was the trigger in his life. Okay, so he thinks about what are the needs of his body, how he can avoid uh, further cardiac events or further heart attacks or stroke or some morbidity conditions like that. So he thought, so after need there is a thought. He thinks of reducing his weight, following a healthy lifestyle, modifying his diet, doing some regular exercises, and he feels there is a strong feeling for going for a morning walk, going for a gym, going for jogging, joining a gym, or eating good. And then there is an impulse to act. Okay, all his family members, his wife and his, say, 5-year-old child, he thinks of them. He goes to the home, he's discharged from the hospital, goes to the home, the wife is crying, the child is crying, everyone is crying. They are saying, how is this possible at the age of 40? How can you have a heart attack? He says, okay, now whatever is done. Henceforth I will take care of my body. Henceforth I'll have good habits. Okay, so what are these good habits? Eating good diet, having good diet. Okay, doing regular exercises, and the most important thing for him is not sitting for continuously at a stretch for 4 or 5 hours. Okay, so action, this impulse to act creates a motivation in that person, and through which he can act. Okay, so action is, he wakes up early in the morning, goes for exercises, he joins a gym, he controls his diet, he cuts off all the extra sugar, all the extra salt, all the fatty food, all the fast food that he was eating on a weekly basis or on a daily basis. And after, say, 3 months or 6 months, he is undergoing a drastic change in his body. His weight is reducing, his lipids are reducing, his atherosclerotic vessels, they are going back to normal. Okay, and this is the way a habit is triggered. Okay, so remember, cycle of habits. First there is a trigger, then there is a need to change, a thought of change, a feeling, a desire, a strong will to change the habit, a impulse to act, that is a motivation, that is a push which comes from within. Motivation is something we think from ourselves to change. Okay, that is the something which comes from within is motivation. And then the last is a action. Okay, and this trigger, need, thought, feeling, impulse to act, action, this cycle continues till a person develops habits which he desires. Okay, so the habit formation, habits are formed especially relating to food, sleep, work, addictions like smoking, intake of alcohol, social media, Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, Twitter, and whatnot. Also, online games like PUBG, Free Fire, Clash of Clans, and whatnot. And good habits promote health. Okay, bad habits, example, drug dependence, alcohol dependence, smoking dependence, may ruin a person's health. What is the what are the principles involved in habit formation? Habit formation begins early in childhood, where the child is receptive to all influences. Habits are formed by frequent repetition. Okay, so a child gets all his habits from his or her parents. Okay, so if a parent gets up early in the morning, if his father, if her father and her mother, the children's father and mother, they are getting up early in the morning, doing some exercises, doing all the work together, morning work together, okay, helping each other, then children will learn the same. Okay. Uh, Habits are formed by frequent repetition. Okay, so over the period of say first 5 years, the child till the age of 5 years, they acquire all those things from their parents as their habits. Habits are not formed overnight. It takes time to form habits. Okay, it takes a lot of time to form habits, even years together to form and follow good habits. There should be a strong emotional stimulus to form habit. Example, taking a vow, take or a reward or a recognition, etc. Okay, so say Hima Das from the hilly areas of remote India, she had a strong will. She had taken a vow. She wanted recognition that, okay, I am a daughter of farmer, I am very poor, I don't even have shoes to go for running, but there is a desire that one day I will be that athlete, I will be recognized all over the world. And that was the reward she kept for herself. Okay, that I will win a medal for India one day. Okay, and that strong emotional stimulus from inside, that motivation from inside, compelled her to win that medal for India and to go and win many games all over the world. Okay, so this is how she started her journey. She started running in her field, she started running in her local roads without any proper footwear. Okay, so you all know the story of Hima Das, the great Indian athlete. The good habits break bad habits. The best way to break bad habits is to cultivate good habits. Okay, so all of you must have heard of many instances of depression among healthcare workers. Okay, and many instances of suicides, or many instances of depression and extreme steps like that. Many must have left medical field. Many must have gone into very negative space. Okay, so the best way to break depression, best way to break some such anxiety disorders is to eat well and to perform exercises. Okay, so if people who are depressed, it has been found, if they are given a good food, a high fiber diet and nutritious diet, and if they are advised to do exercises, it will improve the self esteem in them. Okay, that will have a significant positive effect in their health, not only physical health but also mental health. Okay, habits build up human personality. Man should not become a slave to his habit, he should remain a master. Okay, so what is becoming the slave to habits? That is nothing but addiction. Okay, any kind of addiction, it may be smoking, it may be drinking alcohol, it may be drugs, it may be social media, it may be online games, it may be sitting. Even sitting is an addiction. Okay, remember that if you are habituated to sitting more than 8 hours in a day, it is an addiction. Okay, you don't want to get up from your chair, you don't want to go around, you don't want to exercise, and this habit of sitting, this addiction of sitting is increasing today because of the COVID-19 lockdown. Okay, we cannot go out for a walk, we cannot go out for a cycle ride, we cannot go to the gyms, and we all have to sit inside our homes. Okay, but that doesn't mean that we should not do exercise. Okay, we all can do exercises in our home. Our whole family can take part in 15 minutes morning and 15 minutes evening exercises, and you all can continue doing exercises on your own. Okay, yes. So what is habit reversal? Habit reversal is a multi-component treatment package. It comprises principal components of behavior monitoring, relaxation, and competing response training. Okay, this habit reversal concept is used in de-addiction centers. Those who have got bad habits, those who are addicted to any of the uh, alcohol, drugs, smoking, or online games or social media, and that much addiction is there that their normal physiological dependence is on all this. Okay, smokers, they are addicted so much to smoking that they don't get their morning business running, don't get potty uh, without doing a cigarette smoke. Okay, they have to smoke a cigarette and then only they will get uh, their bowels running. Okay, so this is the physiological dependence to smoking. Okay, so this habit reversal is used in de-addiction. For example, a patient with trichotillomania. What is trichotillomania? It is a urge to pull his or her hair. Okay, and that urge is so much that even they break the hairs or even they become bald by pulling the hairs. The patient can perform the competing response of clenching the fist for 3 minutes. Okay, so whenever these people get a urge to pull their hairs, they are taught to clench their fists for 3 minutes. Okay, so keep clenching your fists. Even this technique is followed or is advised for those who are having anger management issues. So people who are quick tempered, people who are very angry, they are advised to clench their fists or to count the numbers 10 to 1 in a reverse direction. Okay, so whenever whenever I am angry about someone, whenever I want to kill someone, or whenever I want to hit someone, or whenever I want to yell at someone, if I have got that anger management issues, what I will do, I will just stay calm. I will either clench my fists or I will count the numbers from 10 to 1. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, or I will use both. I will also clench my fists and I will count the numbers from 10 to 1. Okay, so what happens is that first 10 seconds of these habits or this competitive or this compulsive behavior, at first 10 seconds our mind gets diverted. Okay, so instead of hitting someone because of that quick temperness, i will I will get a 10-second break. Okay, I will think for 10 seconds, or I will get distracted from 10 seconds, and then I will think, okay, so hitting is not required. I might just tell him what he or she has done wrong and why I am so much angry on that person. Okay, so the variety of hypnotic techniques are also effective in habit reversal. Okay, so many times hypnotic techniques or mind training techniques are used to reverse these habits or to reverse these adverse addictions or adverse habits. The habit formation takes 3 steps. Okay, so this is knowledge, attitude, and practice. So this is a behavior change communication principles. These are the 3 basic steps in any behavior change. Knowledge is when a person knows. Attitude is when a person feels positive or feels negative about that knowledge or about that thing, and practices. Okay, so let's take 2 examples. One is cigarette smoking, second is healthy diet. Okay, so I know, so we'll talk about healthy diet first. I know that healthy diet is very important for staying healthy. Okay, so everyone knows that eating good is very important, having a healthy diet is very important. Okay, so when we want to add a habit of healthy diet in any person, what we do is we give them, first we give them knowledge about healthy diet. What is healthy diet, how much you should eat, how many times you should eat, and what you should eat. Okay, so first thing is knowledge. Either I know, or if I don't know, I should get information from the experts. Okay, so knowledge. Once I know what to eat, when to eat, and how to eat, the second thing is attitude. Okay, so I should have the attitude, I should have the desire, I should have the motivation to have that good quality food or healthy food. Okay, that is the second step. What is the third step? Third step is practice. Okay, this is the most difficult step in habit formation or in habit reversal. Okay, the practice is the most difficult thing. Okay, we all know eating healthy is very important, we all know, we all feel to eat healthy, we all know that doing regular exercises is very important. We all feel that we should do exercises, but we don't do, but we don't eat healthy diet. But we think of desires, and we think of eating chocolates, we think of eating samosas, we think of eating pizzas and pani puris, and we go and become slaves of our desires. Okay, so this is the attitude. And the third most important thing is practice. Okay, practice is very important, because the motivation, the desire from within, the self realization will only compel us to practice these good habits. Okay, it takes almost 40 to 45 days for a new routine activity to be a habit. Okay, so say for example, I want to do regular morning exercises. Okay, so I need to do without any break for continuously 40 to 45 days regular morning exercises for at least half an hour to make that my habit of morning exercises. Okay, so after 45 days of regular morning exercises, on 46th day, I don't have to remind myself, I don't have to motivate myself. It becomes automatic. Okay, remember, habits are automatic. You don't have to do any extra effort to do them. Okay, so it becomes automatic after 45 days of continuous repetition of exercises. Next 5 days, next 10 days, or maybe next whole of my life, I will continue doing morning exercises. So what are healthy habits? Okay, so diet, most important healthy habit is diet. Okay, appropriate calorie and protein intake, appropriate fiber intake, minerals and vitamin intake is very important for a healthy diet. Okay, what is appropriate calorie intake? It is around 2500 to 3000 kilocalories per day. Okay, it depends on what type of moderate activity or heavy activity or mild activity we are doing, and what is our gender, males and females. Males have more calorie requirement and females have less calorie requirement, except in pregnancy and lactation, where they have more calorie requirement as compared to their normal physiological status. The protein intake, the protein requirement, daily protein requirement can be calculated as simple as the protein requirement in grams is our weight in kilograms. Okay, say for example, my weight is 68 kilograms. So my daily protein intake should be 60 to 70 grams per day. Okay, exercise. The healthy habits of exercise, we should do at least 30 to 45 minutes a day of exercise, and at least 5 days a week. Okay, this 45 minutes of exercise can be anything, can be a brisk walk, can be a jogging, can be any physical activity, can be gym, it can be our surya namaskar or yoga sanas, which include a lot of physical activity. Okay, so start with mild, progress to moderate, and stay at moderate to heavy exercises. Okay, so 45 minutes a day. Remember, sleep, we all should get minimum 7 hours of sleep per day. Okay, and the best sleeping time is night 10 o'clock to morning 5 o'clock, or night 11 o'clock to morning 6 o'clock. Okay, so we should not stay awake more than 11 p.m. in the night, and we should not sleep later in the mornings. Okay, screen time, this is the most important thing, this is the most important thing in the lockdown. Okay, the screen time, maximum screen time should be 2.5 hours a day. Okay, I feel very sorry about my my software engineer friends and my information technology friends, those who have to be in front of the laptops for more than even 7-8 hours a day. Okay, but they should have a break of 5 to 10 minutes every hour. Okay, they should not sit for continuous for more than 1 hour. Okay, and we all should practice taking frequent breaks, and also we all should have a screen blue screen uh, software, or blue screen glasses also are available. Okay, if you go to your optician, the person who makes glasses, and ask for a blue light filtered glasses, you will get those. Okay, even the screen softwares and screen things are there which will filter these blue lights. Okay, screen protectors are there for minimizing the blue light emitted from the screens. Okay, so maximum screen time should be 2.5 hours a day for students. Yes, remember, you all have to go through online classes and everything, but you can reduce the extra screen time which is there, which you spend for watching movies, for online games, and everything. Okay, most important is social media. The maximum social media time spent on social media should not be 30 minutes in a day. Okay, just remember, just see how much screen time, screen time is given to social media, and if it is more than 30 minutes, then please reduce that time. Interaction with family and friends is very important. Minimum 2 hours a day should be given to your family and to your friends. Okay, so again, if you want to interact with your friends, please don't go to their homes, please stay at home. You can use that extra 1 hour of interaction by using your mobile. Okay, use your mobile, do video calls, do calls, conference calls, and stay connected with your friends. Okay, don't let them feel disconnected from you or all. Okay, and this is the best time to spend your time with family. I remember that the last year, during the period of lockdown, around 3-4 months, we all members of family together stayed together, since god knows last, when we all were in the school days. Okay, so I am very thankful for god to give me that opportunity to spend time with whole of my family. Now we should consider avoiding all these unhealthy habits. Any kind of addiction, may it be smoking, alcohol drinking, drugs abuse, social media, online games like PUBG, Free Fire, uh, or Call of Duty, Clash of Clans, Amazon Prime and Netflix and YouTube and your Twitter and TikTok, which is banned, but I don't know. There are many such similar apps. So the compulsive behavior to go through these addictions, or to have this habit, the compulsive behavior to watch at least 4 seasons, or at least 5 hours of the Amazon Prime and Netflix per day, or compulsive behavior to play the PUBG and Free Fire and Call of Duty for 5 hours a day is very harmful for ourselves. Okay, the self isolation and no interaction with people, this is also a unhealthy habit. Okay, this will lead to uh, unhealthy dietary habits, unhealthy mental and social psychological pressure on ourselves. Okay, this self isolation, we are not alpha animals. Okay, alpha animals, or animals who stay alone, who live alone, we are not that people. We are social animals. Humans are social animals. We need to interact with people, we need to interact with family to stay healthy. Packaged food. Okay, packaged food are the most unhealthy habits that we can have. Anything which comes in a jar, anything which comes in a box, anything which comes in a packet is not healthy for you. Remember, always remember that it has got a lot of sugars and a way lot of salt than our daily requirement. Okay, remember, a 200 ml tetra pack of any soft drink, or any sugared drink which is available over the counter in eateries, it will have at least 6 teaspoons of sugar. Okay, if you go and check the calorie content of that 200 ml bottle of soft drink, it will have 120 to 200 kilocalories. Okay, 120 kilocalories is 6 teaspoons of sugar, and 200 kilocalories is almost 10 teaspoons of sugar. Okay, imagine a glass of lemon juice which you have prepared in your home, and you have added 10 teaspoons of sugar in it, and you have drink. You will not be able to drink that 10 teaspoons wala sugar lemon juice. Why? And why are you able to drink that soft drink? Because they, along with sugar, they have also added in that soft drink the taste regulators. These taste regulators will regulate the sweetness of that soft drink. You will not feel that it is so much sweet, but it is actually that much sweet. Okay. And this sugar, this amount of sugar which is going in your body physiologically becomes addicted to that sugar. Okay. So if I start drinking a soft drink every day, and if I continue doing it for 45 days together, I will become addicted to that amount of sugar load. Okay. If I don't get that soft drink, I will feel restless, my body will feel at disease, I will feel many physiological demands or many physiological desires to have that soft drink. Okay. It is that much addiction, and this is a big multinational level fraud which these sugar soft drinks and which these artificial food packaging and food serving companies are doing with whole of the world. Okay. All these potato chips, all these soft drinks, all these things, they are very unhealthy to all of us, and they will cause a lot of problems, a lot of diseases, cardiovascular diseases, diabetes, obesity, and problems related with obesity in all of those who eat or have these foods. Fast food or the maida, which is there in the fast foods, most of the fast foods, is the reason behind obesity and cardiovascular diseases in Western countries and also in Indians in metropolitan cities. And it is also now percolating to tier 2 cities and even to the villages. That's all regarding the habits and how exactly habits are formed and what are healthy and unhealthy habits. So remember the cycle of habits, how exactly a trigger will be the need, thought, feeling, and impulse to act and action regarding an habit, and the basic principle of knowledge, attitude, and practice of how to change from I know that I should do exercise, I know that I should eat good food, and I know that I should quit smoking. This knowledge, attitude, and at the last point, which is a practice, that I should eat good food, I should do regular exercises, and I should quit smoking. That practice level to be attained is very important. Okay. So all the best for this journey from knowledge to practice, and let's all have a pledge to eat good, stay healthy, and help each other out in these difficult times of lockdown. And all the best. Stay home, stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you. That's all regarding today's topic. Thank you very much.